afternoon and welcome to a historic moment. Shelby American's very first concept car introduction at Carlisle. We are so fortunate to be here. That's right. We are making history today with you and with our friends here at the Ford Carlisle Nationals, and we are so excited to be here. This is the 60th anniversary of Shelby American, and all year long we are going to be celebrating at events across the world, and we are so excited to be here. We have a great lineup of presenters today. We have Jim Owens from Ford Motor Company. We have Lance Miller from Local Boy Carlisle Events. Tracy Smith, International Director of Team Shelby and Executive Director with Carroll-Shelby International. And everybody's best friend, the Director of Fun, Gary Patterson. We are going to show you a car that will blow your mind, a car that reaches back to some of Shelby American's greatest racing history. But we are so appreciative of being able to share this with you today at Carlisle that we want to show our appreciation to the folks at Carlisle because this is the house that they built. So please welcome the voice of Carlisle, Mike Garland.
It's funny that he introduces me as the voice, whereas for the last 2 days I've had no voice. So thank you very much to everybody that's here, for the Ford enthusiasts, for our special guests, for our media. We really appreciate you being here, not only for this unveiling, but for what we expect to be a record-setting show in and of itself. I know we've been talking about it for weeks on social media, but the all-time any show record here at Carlisle is 3,298. That was set at a non-Ford show in 2003. So here we are all these years later, and we are knocking on the door of that all-time record, and I think it's going to be very possible come tomorrow, so we appreciate that. Now, here in Building T, we are joining Shelby with this 60th anniversary celebration. Not only do we have some great cars on display here in the building, but as part of our National Parts Depot show field as well. If you saw the Grand Cruise-In, you know that there is a lot of Shelby vehicles here, and we really appreciate it. So a big round of applause for Shelby and what they brought to the show. This is the first time that Shelby has taken the extra step of unveiling and introducing a car at our event, and that means the world to us as a company, and it's also a nod to you, the fans, who come to the show. They appreciate us, but more they appreciate you. They're doing this for you, so again, we thank you very, very much. Now, we wouldn't be here without our next speaker's father, and also his father's friend, Bill Miller. He grew up here at Carlisle, literally doing anything and everything that you could do here, from picking up trash, to mowing the grass, to driving our tram, may it rest in peace.
That was for me, by the way.
So Lance has literally done everything here. He has some involvement in some other show that has since been overshadowed by what Ford does each and every June here at Carlisle, but he is here today to join us in honoring Shelby and all that they are doing. So ladies and gentlemen, Lance Miller, co-owner of Carlisle Events.
Thanks, Mike. So first and foremost, we have to thank Ford Motor Company and Shelby American. Thank you guys so much for all the support. And of course, all the customers out there, which are you. Thank you so much. It's incredible to just see everybody come together, smile, have a good time, and for once, perfect weather. How about that, huh? In Carlisle, I love it. Yeah, exactly. As Mike had mentioned, we are definitely going to be setting some records throughout this weekend. All numbers are pointing to it, so we're excited. We'll see that tomorrow. We'll make an announcement as soon as it happens, but it will happen. Have the faith, right? So, on that note, this is really, really exciting. Quite frankly, I haven't seen it, so I'm pumped to see this car. I know you guys are excited to share it, right? Yeah, and I believe we're going to... So thank you. So that's all I've got. Thank you all for coming, and now I'm going to share it with Scott here.
Thank you so much. Thank you for sharing your home with us. So Ford and... Anybody see a little movie called Ford versus Ferrari recently? You remember how that ended, right? That's right. Ford and Shelby went. So Ford and Shelby have had a tremendous relationship over the last 60 years, and it's due to the passion of people on both sides of the company. We are very fortunate that we have today Jim Owens, who is Shelby and Mustang Marketing Manager. Not only does Jim have a tremendous history with Ford Motor Company, he worked for Carol and with all of us for 4 years. I can't think of anybody better to talk a little bit about the relationship between Ford and Shelby and what it means.
You know, I get to go out and do Mustang events and Shelby events for my living. And the only way I'm capable of doing that is because of people like yourselves. And I want you to know that Ford Motor Company and the Ford family recognize what you bring to the table. They are enthusiasts just like you. The CEO of a band of hot rodders, right? Scott mentioned the Ford versus Ferrari movie. You know, Carol and the merry band of hot rodders took what the Ford engineering team did and made the magic happen. That magic, 66 through 69, continued with the 350 and the USAC and the SCCA Production B through the cars that we produce today. That magic comes from passionate people like Carol Shelby, like Lee Iacocca and the Ford Fairlane Committee, like Henry Ford III, who was the Global Performance Marketing Manager, Edsel, his father. Bill Ford himself has a 4-day SCCA license. Like, he goes out there and has the Mustangs. That passion, that combined passion and energy delivers really cool things, and the only way we're able to do that is through you. And we want to thank you for being part of it, because your passion and energy, what you bring to the brand, allows Ford, Shelby, and people like Barry to put together these wonderful machines that you're going to see.
About them, some of which may be true. So come and see Jim at the Ford booth. So our next speaker today is someone whose heart is with you. When Carol Shelby, before he passed away, was cementing his final executive team, he picked Tracy Smith to be part of the organization leading forward. She is an executive vice president with the parent company, Carol Shelby International. She is also the director of Team Shelby, 80,000 strong, including any Team Shelby members here now? Loud and proud, please welcome Tracy Smith.
Woo! Thank you, Scott. Thank you, the Team Shelby members. Hey, you all are welcome to be a part of Team Shelby. This is so exciting. This is the 60th anniversary of Shelby American. And this car that you're going to see in a few minutes is exactly what it's all about. Carol would be so proud of the team. He would be so happy that you're here experiencing this. And that's, you know, what I think is very unique about Shelby is you are a part of us. You are part of the brand. You are part of all this performance. I heard today that we have 500 Shelbys here. Who has a Shelby here? All right. Yeah, that's awesome. So, and we have our Team Shelby East Coast Nationals, which we've brought to this event for the last 8 years. And we have Bill Carone here who leads up that. Thank you, Bill. And we just have a lot of fun together. So please come to our tent, you know, check it out, spend some time with us. Everyone's welcome, as I said before. We launched Team Shelby on Carol's 85th birthday. It was a birthday present to him, and he wanted the ability to be able to connect with everybody. We were working with Ford again, where he wanted his legacy. He was, you know, so proud of the Ford relationship, and they'd been many years together, all about performance. So we launched that for his birthday so he could, you know, be a part of this too. So just come check it out and just enjoy the day, enjoy the weekend. These guys do a fabulous job with this event. We love being here, and we're so excited about this car, so really enjoy yourself.
And so now the moment you've been waiting for. Gary Patterson is our next speaker. We often call him the director of fun. He is the chief test driver. Everything that happens at Shelby is his responsibility. I mean, let me tell you what, he is one of us. He got his first Mustang when he was 16 years old with the money he made mowing lawns. 69 428 Cobra Jet Mach 1, which he still owns today, and he's told his kids he will be buried in. This is a guy who has, you cut him and he bleeds high-octane gas. Please welcome the president of Shelby American, Gary Patterson.
Thanks, Scott. Welcome home, huh? This is pretty cool. It's like a big family reunion. Everywhere you go, it's like, wow, 60 years and, 25 years of doing this for me plus, right? And it's really about the people. And so we're going to talk a little bit about people and dreams and the future and so forth. So when you look out in the crowd, you see a lot of vintage stuff in Building T right here. So that's pretty cool. You saw, brand new stuff out there, and Carol's favorites were always the next one. And it was always, what are we going to do next? But now we have the ability to do something new that's still old too. How many of you guys think that this is a pickup truck? Yeah, maybe when the box was still up around the fence, that was possible. Probably not so much now. But, Carol passed away just over 10 years ago. And before that, as, Scott and Jim has alluded to, Tracy, Carol put together a team of people that would carry on that legacy. He knew that, believe it or not, Carroll Shelby wouldn't live forever. Used to talk about that tag on his toe all the time. But he was all about that legacy continuing. And he put people in place to do those things. And when he did that, one of the key people that were involved was Barry Smith. Barry, say hi to the crowd. Barry Smith runs Smith Transport, 2 hours from here out of Roaring Springs, Pennsylvania. A man who built the company from scratch, from the ground up, nearly 1,000 trucks and about 2,000 trailers. Pretty cool for a guy that lives 2 hours away and could lift 2 10-gallon milk jugs, one in each hand, and load trucks with them. It's been a while. But 25 years ago, I met Barry, and I met a remarkable man that would become my mentor. Okay? Somebody I really admire. That being said, Carol, in his final, few months, he called Barry on a regular basis. And Barry promised him that he would continue that legacy. Just like each of one of you, you may not have that kind of juice to do what he's done, but in your own way, you're helping continue that legacy. Barry Smith is that guy that runs legendary GT classic cars. If you look by Barry, how many of you guys have the shirts on that kind of look like the one I'm wearing, Barry's wearing? Grandson Parker, So this is all about family. If you look behind us, the green 500 that sits back here, he bought brand new off the showroom floor. 67 500. I think he went drag racing right away, right? Like about a week or two later, the engine came out, 427 went in, little things like that. Check these cars out later. But one of the things that happened was, it's hard to believe, Father's Day will be the anniversary of the 66 Le Mans win, right, that took Ferrari off the podium. Pretty cool stuff. One of the other things that Carroll Shelby did, and Jim's alluded to it numerous times, and so has Scott, but it's the only man in history to win as a manufacturer, a driver, and as a team owner. Only one person in the world has ever done that, and that's Carroll Shelby. Okay? In '65, he won the FIA GT Championship with the Daytona Coupe. Yeah, how many knew Carroll Shelby? I know some of you did. Anybody personally know Carroll? Yeah, a lot of us did. Barry for a long time. I worked for him the last 16 years of his life. One of the things that Carroll did when they won the championship in '65 is, gee, we're going to come out next year and bring the Daytona Coupe, and it'll be a secret weapon because it won't be the 289. We're going to come up with a bigger hammer, and we're going to put it in the Daytona Coupe. Well, when you do that, it won't fit. Well, with a little ingenuity, they took CSX 2286 and they lengthened the frame 3 inches, they lengthened the body 3 inches, and they came up with a secret weapon 427, okay? And when they got the engine shipped, Carroll wanted something a little different. And he did that with a 427 wedge engine inspired by NASCAR. That was a bad boy. The dream he really wanted and was supposed to get as far as the engine, we're going to show you with this car. Because for the first time in history, you are going to see, why don't you guys pull the cover off of this? Barry, Parker? Let's see what we got here. Yeah, that's not a wrap, folks. That is genuine polished aluminum. Okay? Got done until Barry made that dream come true. Single overhead cam engine making 650 horsepower. Okay? That, my friends, is the secret weapon. Now, at the end of the day, the wedge motor never made it onto the racetrack. Something about the Italian truck driver that was supposed to deliver it didn't quite get there without wrecking it. And then they decided, well, let's really make sure the GT40s win and not a Daytona coupe with an FE big block Ford. Okay? It went racing again as a small block Daytona coupe. Okay? So, to make that dream come true, let's see if Barry can you figure out how to get in that car? You're going to try? Do we need to hold the bonnet a little bit? You think this thing will run and not just look like a pretty face? You want to take a look at it, Parker? I want to make sure we don't have an issue with the hood. So you think this is just a show car? I know it drove in here. Oh, yeah. RPMs. Clean her out, Barry. Get a little temperature in it. That thing sounds like a beast. Oh yeah! How about that, huh? Like I always tell everybody, this bad boy is a hybrid. Burns gas and rubber.